Hi, I'm Alpha, and here's my 5-minute morning show starting the clock right now. I'm going to ask you this brain stretcher because I like to get your brain going. I mean, it's a good thing, I think. As I've said before, Einstein says once the mind is expanded by a single idea, it can never again return to its original dimension. So I call it the brain stretcher because you get new information and never again will it return to the dimension it was before. So I'm doing you a service, aren't I? Anyway, here's a question for you. This thing was invented on this day in 1913, but it didn't even get a name until 1930. So for 17 years, the thing didn't even have a name, and it didn't even become popular until the French got a hold of it. And now, I bet you used one today, a couple of times. What do you think it is? Well, we'll have the answer for you in a little less than 5 minutes. Let's find out what's going on in the world. We look down at the Gulf of Mexico, and it's on fire, this oil spill. And this will really damage the argument for trying to drill in the Gulf and tapping the resources that's down under there. I mean, this is going to damage that, and the greenies are going to say, well, look what it's doing. And boy, it's hard to argue. I mean, it's causing a huge mess, much bigger than they expected. Now there's a new leak, and in order to try to stem the tide, so to speak, they have set fire to it. So if you want to go down there, tell them how you like your seafood done. While we're in Mexico, this Arizona thing just keeps getting worse and worse, crazier and crazier. I mean, this law basically just reinforces the federal law, which hasn't been enforced. And so the people of Arizona felt they had to take some kind of action. 70% of the people in the state agree with what was done. Now there's threats of boycotts and counter-threats of boycotts. The city of San Francisco is threatening to boycott Arizona. And because of this, there are some counter threats of boycotts. People in Arizona says, well, I'm not going to go to San Francisco. The country of Mexico, the government has said it's warning its people not to go to Arizona. You know, if you'd done that in the first place, we might not be in this situation right now. But if you think about it, I mean, the penalty for entering Mexico illegally is automatic up to 2 years in jail. I mean, you go to the penitentiary for 2 years just for entering the country illegally, mostly from the south, because I don't know too many Americans who are trying to sneak south across the border. But here, you cross the border, you're breaking law. What do? We grab you, we detain you for a little while, and then we take you back across the Mexican border and turn you loose, only to probably have to do the thing over and over again. I want to read something for you. It's from a friend of mine, and he posted it on Facebook. Here's what he says. He said, about the Arizona thingy, guess what? I've carried my green card, I'm a legal alien, for years, and I don't worry about having to display it. Plus, I am discriminated against in Georgia. I only get an annual driver's renewal versus a 10-year renewal for citizens. So what? It's my privilege to live here, and I abide by the law here because I am a guest. Can't get a fishing license or vote, but I pay taxes, and that's okay with me. Not saying, just saying. Kind of makes you wonder if there's any intelligent life anywhere. They have found some life on Mars, though. This Mars probe, boy, is digging up all kinds of stuff, and in one particular location they found what they consider or what they equate to be a lot of pond scum. I would suggest that that's probably the Martian capital, since we have the same thing going on in our nation's capital. And I want you to take a look at this. See if you can guess who this person is. Take a look. Go ahead. You know? Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I know. It must have required the same kind of work that Michelangelo put into the Sistine Chapel to create that. I mean, come on. I mean, because this is the same woman right here. Take a look at this. Airbrushing a little bit, you think? Maybe? Huh? Oh, back to Mars. They think they've taken a picture, the Mars rover up there is taking a picture of what looks like a silverback gorilla looking over a rock in, not Iraq, but a rock on Mars. Take a look. It's on, I won't put that up here, but take a look at the blog on the website and see what it is. Now to the brain stretcher for today. This very popular item, invented on this date in 1913, didn't even get a name until 1930, given to it by the B.F. Goodrich Company, of all people, and then didn't become popular till the French got a hold of it, and they started using it in fashion, and it's called the zipper. And they called it the zipper because of the noise it made. Zip. That's it. I'm Alpha Trevette, and that's my 5-minute morning show. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, share with your friends. If you don't, like I say, I hope you have no friends.